The Women's World Cup should be held on artificial turf by Keely Taylor. There are many benefits to using artificial turf instead of real grass. Some of these benefits are: the game pace is consistent, it saves money, it has a longer lifetime, it is weatherproof, it is great for all climates, and it is environmentally friendly. In using artificial turf, the game pace is consistent, unlike grass fields. Usually on grass fields, and when you play on multiple grass fields, some might be bumpy, some might be muddy, flat, there might be some holes in some, but in artificial turf, it's very consistent and it can't really be changed at all. It's usually just flat and the game pace is very fast. This may benefit the women's national team at the World Cup because they'll be playing on technically the same game pace the whole time, so that way they know, oh, if I pass it to this person, I can pass it this pace, instead of, oh, I don't know if that'll be too hard or too soft. By using artificial turf, pesticides, herbicides, and fertilizers are no longer required. That would save a lot of money because, think about it, probably a bag of that would probably be about $20 to $80, whereas when you install artificial turf, you don't have to use any of that. Also, it doesn't need to be mowed, so you don't have to pay anybody to go and mow the grass because there is no grass, and it saves a lot of money in the end. Artificial turf is great for heavy usage because it is sturdier than real grass. With constant running and playing on it, real grass usually gets bare spots and just tends to not grow in places, while turf won't do that because it's made of rubber, so kicking it and running on it won't really wear it down at all. Artificial turf cannot really flood or puddle because it's made of rubber instead of mud and grass and dirt, so that it just kind of floats off of the turf whenever it rains, whereas in real grass fields, the water just kind of stays on the field, and the field might be muddy and wet and slippery, and artificial turf just wipes that all off, and you can technically play in any weather, and it's safe and it's fine. Artificial turf can stay nice and green throughout all seasons, while real grass can tend to brown. Artificial turf it's not real, so it doesn't really matter what the weather is like, the temperature, all of that. While with real grass, if you're in a really hot, dry place, it's gonna be affected by it. It can also be put anywhere, and that really helps because, say you're in a very dry, desert-like place where water is restricted, you don't really need water for artificial turf, so it's perfect for that. With the use of artificial turf, you no longer have to use chemical-based weed killers and fertilizers. That way, you don't get the runoff whenever it rains from all the fertilizers and the weed killers, and that's better for the environment in general. Also, you don't have to water it, and that would save a ton of water, because just think about it. I know whenever my high school had grass fields, they had to water it like every other day. A lot of water. So, if you think about it, you're probably saving hundreds of gallons a year.